Everywhere you look these days, floods, earthquakes, wildfires. It really does feel like the planet is sending us a message, a pretty powerful one. So the big question we're kind of grappling with today, and maybe you are too, is this. Is the world genuinely, coming to an end? Or are we just more aware than ever before? With everything amplified by being so connected. Our mission for this deep dive is to get into exactly that. We've got this fascinating document, the Global Calamity Assessment, and we're focusing specifically on the disasters of 2025. We're going to try and unpack the data here, pull out the key bits, and hopefully get a clearer, maybe more nuanced picture of what's really going on. And helping us navigate all this, we have our climate and disaster analyst. You've been tracking these global calamities for what, over a decade now? Okay, let's unpack this.
It's definitely a topic that needs our attention, and I'm glad we're digging into the specifics from this assessment. It paints a really startling picture of global activity just in that year. It deserves a very close look.
Right. Well, let's jump straight in then. The assessment highlighted pretty dramatically the Kamchatka earthquake and tsunami back in July 25. The source even calls it the ocean's revenge. That's quite a phrase. What was it about that earthquake, beyond just its size, that made it feel so specific, almost retaliatory?
Yeah, the ocean's revenge really captures the feeling. This wasn't just, another big tremor. The assessment details a massive 8.8 magnitude megathrust quake off Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula. Just for context, megathrust quakes. They're the absolute most powerful earthquakes we get. It's where one tectonic plate shoves under another. All that built-up tension from centuries just lets go. This one was the strongest in that specific region since 1952. And what was really remarkable and frankly a bit terrifying was how the aftershocks just rippled. They rattled the entire Pacific Rim for days. Tsunami waves heading towards Japan's Hokkaido coast and Russia's Kuril Islands almost simultaneously. It really felt like geology reasserting itself globally.
Wow. So the whole Pacific Rim really felt the raw power there. But the assessment also shows pretty clearly that water was just as relentless elsewhere in 2025. In floods. What did the report highlight about those widespread flood events?
Oh, absolutely. The report spends a lot of time on floods, and the diversity of them, the sheer destructive power, it's striking. You had India's Uttarakhand, for instance, a sudden cloudburst into Raleigh, deadly flash floods. A cloudburst, just so everyone knows, is like an extreme, super localized downpour. So intense, it just overwhelms everything almost instantly. Small streams become, raging torrents. The assessment mentions entire buildings just swept away. Then look at South Korea. Record-breaking rains. They call them once-in-a-century floods. Tragically, 19 people died and over 13,000 had to evacuate. Just communities turned upside down overnight. And in Africa, Nigeria lost over 200 people. A dam collapsed during extreme rains. The report really hammers home the increasing frequency and the severity of these hydrometeorological events across the board.
Yeah, a terrifying range across continents. When we talk about these hydrometeorological events, what's kind of the key thing that sets them apart? Why are they such a focus in this assessment?
Well, a key thing is their direct link to the atmosphere and water cycles. That makes them really sensitive to shifts in global climate patterns. The assessment points out, unlike earthquakes, which are about tectonic shifts deep down, these floods and storms are more about supercharged weather systems. What makes them so concerning in the 2025 assessment is the sheer intensity and the unpredictability. Things that used to be maybe once in a century seem to be happening far more often in some places, maybe once a decade now or even more.
And it wasn't just water, right? There was fire too. California particularly, I heard they broke a pretty awful record there.
Yeah. To bring that up, yes. The Palisades fire. As detailed in the assessment, it became the most expensive wildfire in history. The insured losses alone were a staggering $40 billion. And, as the report grimly notes, that figure doesn't even touch the cost of homes lost, wildlife, whole communities just gone. It really highlighted the escalating cost, both financially and in human terms.
Wow. $40 billion for one fire. That number is almost hard to grasp. Did the assessment give any deeper reasons why that fire got so costly, beyond just, houses burning down?
It did, yeah. It pointed to a few converging factors. One was the prolonged drought conditions. Huge areas just turned into tinder boxes. Then you had increasingly erratic wind patterns. They pushed the fire so fast. Yeah!